wanted to I almost want to make this a habit of just getting on here, yapping, put on some I put on my headset today because I don't like hearing the outside world sometimes when I'm recording. Um, I think the beginning point is obviously the title, The Cult of Permanence. We have at our fingertips the ability to summon things, items, materials at our doorstep. And due to this sort of like mythical technology, we've kind of, found ourselves creating and have created. Um, hmm. it creates this almost divine, godlike right in individuals to consume. And it's accepted in that way. It's almost normalized in conversation. Um, it becomes a sort of it becomes I don't know, like a dick measuring contest amongst conversation where you're just kind of like, oh, I have this and I have that. Oh, I got this and that and this, and it's fucking made of plastic, and you'll forget about it in a week. What's so stupid to like the grand scheme of your life or your existence and your reality that you can't even justify the purchase other than like I fucking wanted it. And the reason why this is so impactful is because there's so fucking many of us. And in the way it's also becoming more impactful is that we're dissolving cultures. We're dissolving the boundaries between cultures and other countries and other, little civilizations, while also birthing a new culture on top of this, dissolving of old cultures. So we're in the transition phase, in my personal opinion, of either doom or the Renaissance. And I would love to have the perspective that a sort of artistic renaissance will take place or is taking place, because what I've come to find, I mean, in a more of a visual, electronic, digital consumer, more of a mental consumer, those aren't as impactful to the physical world. I think due to there being so many of us, kind of moving into a more virtual space is not necessarily um, bad or good, but it can result in a very good thing, in my opinion, if used properly, if like harnessed properly, the energy that these screens hold. But right now, it's been downloaded and brought into this momentous capitalistic model of consumerism and the old way of existing of consuming before, I wouldn't say before television, but I guess right around television. And as television progresses throughout the 1900 the latter half of the later half of the 1900s. I swear I've heard people say latter half. I don't know why. Um, we've just progressed so fast that our old ways are sort of they have to go out the window. And this sort of Western, United States sort of ideology we've been born into is very keen on not changing. It's very keen on controlling with power. And power is, I guess, if you can create power, if you can create the illusion of control, people will think they have power. There's a there's a song I think called "Freedom of Choice" by Devo, where it's like you don't want freedom of choice. You don't want to be able to choose everything. You want to have freedom from choice. And for me personally, I don't want to. I hate. I hate my phone. I mean, I'm on a laptop more than my phone nowadays because it's very different. I'm not receiving notifications, and I'm not able to just pull something out of my pocket and be sucked into it like a black hole. I try to use my computer screen time in private, and in public I try to be fully there. I really do. I mean, at times, you know maybe I scroll, but I really try to just like do something else other than look at my phone, because I don't even look at my phone in private that much. I genuinely hate it. I hate the way the phones are. But you could be sitting at your doctor's appointment, scrolling, and then see an advertisements or see an advertisement and immediately get the anxious feeling of um, that anxious feeling of purchasing something, like, how do I say it? You get an anxiety or an anxious feeling that is only kind of renewable or changeable by um, purchasing what you see on the ad, especially if it like caters towards you. And before advertisements had any sort of intelligence behind them, there was more of like a culturally centered download amongst like televisions, because there's less channels. So there's more of a line to fall into, more of a group to fall into. And now you have AI implemented algorithms reading and understanding you based on your consumption of your screens. And there's things within these social media platforms and other platforms that have uh, like ads prioritized to your likings, to your age range, whatnot. And I mean that goes for the videos as well. And I've said this. I'm sure probably other people have said this, but a world for everyone, or a world made for everyone, is a world made for no one. And what do you like? You ask yourself, what does that mean? What do you mean? Genuinely sit with that. A world made for everyone is a world made for no one. Is that bad or good? I don't know. I want you to sit with that question though. Not every question needs an answer, but I would argue that our world is catering towards everyone into these old systems that this everyone we're talking about, or I'm talking about, does not fall into the lines of these dogmatic, propagandic religions and politics. And it's weird because like daily life, earth things, human things, they're just fucking natural occurrences, have become political because of our system. They've allowed debate to take place, when in reality, we were born into or onto Earth. We weren't here then Earth formed. You so in a way, with our previous thought patterns and structures of living that include religion, that include war and politics, and the certain drugs that have been normalized. Due to these old structures still being in place, we have a very tense moment right now, because we're in a transitional phase of screens and AI surveillance, and having a sort of camera looking at you in all ways. Excuse me. And one of my favorite quotes, or I don't know, excuse me, oh my god. One of my favorite quotes that are along the lines of a quote that Terence McKenna said is, I just lost my train of thought. Holy shit. What did he say? What was I going to... I literally lost my train of thought. That happens. That birth put me on a new path. But that's actually funny that I lost my train of thought, because I know what I was going to say now. He said, you have to come up with new ideas, or otherwise your oppressors define the game, define the topic. And I think more and more people are awakening to this realization that we need to be doing work on some sort of level. Not the work in the old ways, the old models of existing, but this work that takes place now in the present moment. And a few things that I want to hold myself accountable for is doing a little more yoga, moving my body a little more. I want to find some peace in more of my practices. I still feel like I have a lot of outside things, outside cultural, societal things that have kind of been dictating my mind. And I want to get to a place where I'm beyond that. And I think we all do. But due to this thing called money, I think we're at a very, even like the progression of money is different now. Like money itself is not the same. And that is dangerous. It's dangerous because these old systems that are in place can't transition into a more dramatic form of their current existence without compromising like privacy or moral issues. But also at the same time, I don't see our technology being sort of catered towards this everyone's stance. I see a forceful what is it? I can't even say it. I forget how to say it. But a total almost dictatorship of demanding other cultures to fall in line with one culture, to the world. I see that happening. And I think it needs to be talked about. I think this is the work I'm talking about. Even if no one watches these in years or ever, I don't give a shit. I put it out there for the global village in my own way, for the seekers who, have who have some drive for themselves, who have, the urge to create something. Um, but what's weird, about these, formatted videos, live streams, is that these aren't the main way of consumption nowadays. You have shorts, reels, small video clips where you have the ability to just go, 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 go. Any sort of long formed video, even myself, sometimes I struggle with because, like, I feel like a lot of the videos I see online now are just mundane. There's no real abstract form. You're being talked at like this, like on this episode. Hey guys, welcome back to this video, and then you have this sort of um, how do I say it, or how do I act like it? I don't know. You have this sort of false identity handed to you always, and there's no like normality. You have a more of like an idealistic state of being more than a realistic way of being. And when you have, ideals, ideologies dominating the cultures, things get lost. It's not that these things should be the mainstream or whatever. No, it's that things get truly lost and left behind. Um, and I think a lot of people are becoming frustrated. They're feeling left behind. They're feeling lost in the cracks of technology. And there's a renaissance being born. And you have to smile about it. You have to create about it. You have to create that meaning. Meaning is not given to you, meaning is determined by you. I'm going to read from my trusty book. I don't know. It's not that I don't want to say these things, but I want to find something that I really haven't read. I think this makes me happy. No matter what I do or experience, it leads me back to this thing called the present moment, which is the most potent psychedelic there is in these times. Whether it's in silence or noise, you can navigate the present moment as it's your own playground that is constantly redesigning itself based off where your attention goes. That, I think, could and is the weapon. I mean, that you speak of a renaissance, or I speak of a renaissance, and I immediately think of attention, detail, attention and intention, detail. Um, but yeah, this is a good talk. I'm proud of myself. I love you all.